Durham Region.
Welcome back. Today's episode of What's on Durham is filled with kid and family friendly things to do this fall. Don't miss it. Now, my first guest in our virtual studio wants you to unleash your child's creativity. It's Anna Kim from Arts Unleashed. Sorry, Annika Kim. I stumbled over that a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
I would like to know a little bit about what Arts Unleashed is.
Arts Unleashed is a 100% kid-created performing arts studio, and we believe that imagination is a superpower.
I love that. So what inspired you to start this? Like, tell me a little bit about what the thought process was when you decided to start this business.
Well, my background is in theater arts, so I started a camp to entertain my own children, and we created an original live play. So children in our programs work with improvisation, set, prop, and costume design.
Wow.
Put it all together to tell their own stories or to do a live performance. So I was inspired by my background in theater, but also watching the organic process when children are left to create on their own. They come up with amazing ideas.
Absolutely. What kind of different classes do you offer? Because you're starting back up again. So
Yeah.
what kind of things are you offering now at Arts Unleashed?
We have online classes as well as in studio. So we've got designers, producers, and improvisation. And those are our staple classes. So improvisation in studio and online. Designers is our art series, which is online and in studio. And then producers is the total arts experience, and that one's in the studio. And we also have a fall arts camp right now running half days once a week.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. So how do the online classes work then?
For the designer series, the parents come and they pick up the materials curbside. So we prep everything and they have everything that we would have here in the studio. So we're not doing any shared materials. All the students have their own art bin with all the materials that they need. So this bin would also go home to the students. They would get an apron, and then we Zoom in once a week and we're creating together. So if we were working, for example, on a beach scene, then we'd be creating like a mini set and little props. Isn't that so cute?
I love that.
And we do a lot of mini-me's. Now that we can't be performing in the studio, we have puppets this is my space person, so I'm not really dressed for the beach, but that's the kind of stuff we're working on together online.
I love that so much. In the sort of new world that we're in, are you open to creating classes for bubbles and family groups, social groups?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great space. You can kind of see to the back. This is our art studio. In the back, we have a movement studio as well. So we have a wonderful space if families or pod groups want to create their own one-time arts experience or a weekly experience. We can definitely accommodate programs like that.
Oh, very cool. What do you like best about seeing children go through this process? Because, they really own all of it, right?
Yeah, I think just seeing their excitement and that confidence that builds when they're given the ability to make their own choices, because they're used to being led or told what to do. And so sometimes they're a little bit cautious when they start. And then when they realize that the choices are all theirs and they can keep going as far as they want with their creation, it really opens up this new confidence. And that's why we say imagination is a superpower, because it's in all of us. And it's such a great time to be celebrating imagination.
Absolutely. Tell me just quickly about the producers class, because that seems like, if I understand it correctly, that they own all of it.
Yes. So they come in, this session's theme is world. So we're traveling through 6 countries in 12 weeks. So they'll come in and they'll tell a story about why they're traveling around the world. They'll create set, prop, and costume pieces that represent each of the countries. And that story will be told at the end of the session. So this session, it may be a little different. We usually have parents in the studio and we do a full live performance. And if we can do that, fingers crossed, but if not, we'll do a video or work with smaller storytelling pieces and put those together.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It was so interesting. And now we are going to we're gonna rev our engines and buckle our seatbelts because we are going on to our next guest, who is Alexander Gates from the Canadian Automotive Museum. Thank you so much, Annika.
Thank you. Bye.
We're now welcoming Alexander Gates, the curator of the Canadian Automotive Museum in Oshawa. Alexander, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy.
So tell me a little bit about the museum. You're located in Oshawa. You've been open now for a couple of months. If you haven't been to the Canadian Automotive Museum before, can you tell me a little bit about what people can find there?
Sure. So the Canadian Automotive Museum has been here in downtown Oshawa for over 50 years, in fact. And we collect and tell the story of the Canadian automobile, you know, how they're manufactured, how they were used, and how they're really Canadian. And so we've been reopened to the public since middle of July now, and tickets are available online. So we are spacing people out in terms of visitor groups throughout the day. So we're currently open Tuesday through Saturday, and you can go to our website, CanadianAutomotiveMuseum.com, and you can book a spot to come and visit.
Very good. So you have a new exhibit that's on your second floor. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
We do. So unrelated to COVID, we've been developing a new exhibit on Oshawa's automotive community. So this is sort of commemorating the manufacturing plants that have been here in Oshawa, really dating back to the early 20th century, even going back to the carriage factories and back to the 1870s here in Oshawa. So Oshawa has a long history of producing vehicles, and with the closure of the assembly plant here back in December 2019, we want to commemorate that. So we've been working on a project. You know, the grand unveiling was supposed to be during March break. Obviously, it's been delayed now, but the exhibit is installed. And if you're not able to make it here in person, you can visit the Virtual Museum of Canada site as well. If you go to virtualmuseum.ca, there's a virtual version of the exhibit, so you can view that from anywhere in the world in both official languages, in fact.
Very cool. Now you also have an event that's coming up, and it feels so good to say that. There's an event coming up. You are hosting you're hosting a walking tour. Can you tell me a little bit about the walking tour?
We have. So we've had walking tours of downtown Oshawa for the last few years, and they focus on the heritage sites related to the automotive industry. Many visitors to Oshawa, and even people that have lived here for many years, don't remember where the original factories were, where the carriage factories were, where the first you know, Buicks were built, where the first Chevrolets were built. And if we're building cars in downtown Oshawa up until the 1950s. And so this is a huge part of our heritage and a huge part of how the city is designed in terms of the streetscape, in terms of where buildings are, in terms of, you know, residential versus commercial units in downtown Oshawa. A lot of it's been redeveloped now, but you can still, if you go on Google Maps, you can sort of see the outline of where those factories all used to be, where the railroad tracks used to be, and those types of things. And so our next one's coming up on September 26th. We'll likely be hosting more throughout the fall, as long as the weather holds. I think we'll continue them on into October as well, so you can always check our website for those. But it's about an hour-and-a-half walking tour. And it's not only a great way to visit our heritage, but it's also a great way to rediscover all the interesting restaurants and things to do in downtown Oshawa. Because that's one thing, you know, 100 years ago you didn't have is the great cuisine that we now have here in downtown as well.
Absolutely. So Alex, we have about 1 minute. You mentioned getting tickets online. So I'm assuming then you're encouraging people to purchase rather than just drop in.
Yes, we're encouraging people to pre-purchase tickets online, particularly if you have a group of say 4 or more. You want to make sure you can get everyone in at the same time slot. So right now, with our restrictions, we're keeping it to just 10 people per hour through the museum, which allows for a couple of families. But given the size of our building, we find that's a safe number of people to have through here. And we have lots of fun social distancing signage in effect here as well. And all the cars have interpretation with them. So it's a self-guided tour. And certainly in an hour, you can go through the museum. And particularly during these fall days, it's quieted down a little bit. So we find this is a great place to visit with your family, or if you have young kids, perhaps if you're keeping your kids home from school.
Thank you so much, right now, Alex. Thank you so much.
Have a little field trip.
That is some great information. Thank you very much. And now we are going on location. We're going to Ajax Rock Oasis. And we're going to catch up with Andy. We are now welcoming into our virtual studio Andy Gouldburn from Ajax Rock Oasis. It's so good to see you.
Hey, welcome back.
Yay, you're open again, yay. So if people aren't familiar with Ajax Rock Oasis, you're kind of a unique spot. Tell us about what you are and what you do.
Well, we're an indoor rock climbing gym. We're the original climbing gym in the Durham region. We're a full service climbing gym, so that means we have kind of every kind of climbing that there is available. So we have ropes, we have what's called bouldering or climbing without ropes. We have automatic belay systems, and we have some training equipment available for people who are interested. So we deal kind of with the new climbers, the experienced climbers, kids, families, the whole nine.
Very good. So what are you offering at this time? Because you've just freshly reopened. You've been open only for a couple of days.
Yeah, we just opened on Monday. So as of right now, we're allowing walk-ins for anyone who is kind of an experienced climber and kind of knows what they're doing. So we're not yet offering training and lessons and that sort of thing, but we'll be offering that in the very near future. So anyone who kind of has experience can come in, just make sure that they know what they're doing already. So we'll check them out and they can get climbing. Very
cool. So regarding equipment, are you providing the equipment? Do people have to bring their own?
We do have rentals for shoes and harnesses available. We have a pretty rigorous sanitization process for those in terms of making sure that we don't spread any germs from person to person. So people can bring their own, or people can rent from us as well.
Oh, very good. So do you anticipate, because I know that you also offer things like lessons, do you anticipate that's going to be starting again soon?
Yes, we're kind of just getting through getting information from people again, like getting new waivers, getting welcoming people back into the gym, that sort of thing for now. But as of probably mid to late next week, we'll be offering lessons again. So in terms of technical training, as well as just simple skills of learning how to belay and do safety work in here, should be available as of, I would assume, around the 25th of the month.
Okay, so coming soon. Now, if we can talk a little bit, for people who aren't familiar with climbing, you're obviously in the climbing studio, is it?
We call it a rock climbing gym, yeah.
A rock climbing gym, a climbing studio. It's like a yoga studio.
Hey, it works.
So I see some ropes, I see some different things behind you.
Yeah.
What are they? I'm not a climber, I don't know.
Behind me on the wall, you can see all kinds of different holds. You can see ropes, you can see these big things. These are called volumes. Basically, it's different types of things you can grab onto and use on the wall to climb from, say, the ground all the way up to the ceiling that's 20 odd feet above me. There's different paths on the wall. So there's easy stuff, there's hard stuff, there's everything kind of in the middle. And lots of different routes. So each route is kind of color coded. So you can kind of see there's like some orange holds here. There's an orange route that goes all the way to the roof. There's some green holds over here. These ones also go all the way to the top. So you can follow a path specifically for your difficulty level. So if you're kind of new, there's super easy stuff that you can follow a nice, clean, easy path right to the top. If you're experienced and you want something super challenging, we have pretty difficult stuff here.
Very good. So for someone like me that's not an experienced climber, if I only wanted to go like 6 feet off the ground, then that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Even better yet, we do bouldering here as well. So bouldering, like I mentioned before, is climbing without the use of ropes. So in our gym, it's kind of hard to make out on this camera, but you can see there's a little dotted yellow line here. This yellow line is a safety line for people who want to boulder, so they can kind of climb horizontally around the gym rather than vertically. So if you are kind of iffy about heights, you can kind of stay at a lower level.
Very good. So where would people go to find out more information?
AjaxRockOasis.com. We just relaunched a new website with all pertinent information in terms of what we have available, how to book, how to get in contact with us.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for
I'm
having me.
glad you're back open. Can't wait to come and visit you. And next up, we are headed to Ajax. We're going to catch up with Poonam Swift from the Town of Ajax to find out how they've taken their great events online. Now, next up, we are headed to Ajax, where the fun is going online. Please welcome Poonam Swift from the Town of Ajax. Hi, Poonam.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
I'm great. It's so good to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back. New world, but
I know. But you guys are still doing amazing stuff in the Town of Ajax. So tell me about what's coming up.
for sure. Thank you. And I'm gonna just kind of do a rundown of a few things that are coming up in the next few weeks. So first and foremost, we just wanted to take the time to say thank you to everybody, not only in Ajax, but in Durham, for continuing to take part in our events, both virtually and, our drive-throughs and things that we've had to adapt to. So everyone has adapted with us and has made us, really thankful and appreciative for, for their support. But having said that, we are continuing to do new events. So the first one is on September 25th. It's the virtual Spirit Walk. So each year we actually do a Spirit Walk live in person, but this year we've actually turned that into a virtual event. So people can actually come on and view through an interactive map right from the comfort of their own home. They can go around and they can click on different spirits and they'll tell us all about the history of Ajax. So this year we've chosen the Defense Industries Limited Walk. So, they can definitely learn a little bit more about that history. The very next day, we have the St. Francis season launch. So this year, St. Francis is actually celebrating their 10th anniversary. So huge, milestone for them to be able to have 10 years of culture and arts. So we definitely want people to tune in. It's at 8 o'clock, again, online. And they can learn all about their, the upcoming season, what we have for them. And believe it or not, we do have shows that are still going on. So please tune in and check out what we have and how we're kind of changing that up for 2020 and 2021. On October the 3rd, we have a event called Twin Flames. So funny enough, one of the shows that is coming out of the St. Francis season launch, we're doing Twin Flames. So they are an Indigenous group that are going to showcase their music on stage. So we're doing a drive-in concert. So our first time doing a drive-in concert. We're so excited. We've done a drive-in movie. Now it's time to do the drive-in concert. So people can check out information online about them, as well as, how to buy tickets. So that one is one of our only events where you do have to buy a ticket. It's $40 per car. So a great deal, because normally it would be a lot more per person. So definitely for them to try out. And it starts at 8 o'clock. No, my apologies, 7 o'clock at the Audley Recreation Center. And then lastly, in October, I think you guys, if you all remember from last year, I talked about our Pumpkinville Fall event. I know a lot of you are questioning and asking us what we're doing and how we're going to do it. But this year, we're going to combine both our drive-in and our drive-through and create a drive-into experience for Pumpkinville. So we're going to have an experience, about an hour and a half experience, where you drive through entertainment. So you have buskers, goodies being given out, things like that. And then you'll end up watching a short show on the stage. And then you'll be greeted with, some takeaway goodies for you to do. So we are encouraging, like last year, kids to come dressed in costume. We want to make sure they have a chance to get out there and, wear that costume with pride this year. So, definitely check out our website, ajax.ca/town events, for all the information that I just talked about. And for those of you that aren't familiar, all of our virtual events are available through our Ajax website, as well as facebook.com/myajax. So lots of great info there, Anna. I know I just threw it out there, but wanted to let people know what we were up to and that we're still charging along. And COVID won't stop us. It'll just make us safer.
Exactly. I love how you've pivoted these events to still bring amazing events to the people of Ajax. Thank you so much for joining me today, Poonam. That was the easiest interview I've ever done.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you for having me and for constantly supporting us and in our events. And I can't wait to be back and talk about what we're doing in the wintertime.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Now, if you're a new mom, or an experienced mom, or you just want to increase your fitness level, then don't go away, because we're talking with Jennifer Rogers from FITMOM Durham. We are now welcoming Jennifer Rogers from FITMOM Durham into our virtual studio. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. We are so grateful to have this technology these days, aren't we?
Absolutely. So Jennifer, tell me a little bit about FITMOM Durham.
So FITMOM has been providing pre and postnatal services across Durham Region for the past 10 years. We're a boutique fitness studio that specializes in prenatal and postpartum fitness. We carry everyone from preconception all the way to well after women have had their babies. You know, their classes are an opportunity for us to support our community, create a safe place for people to meet, but also learn how to exercise both during the pregnancy and afterwards.
Wow. So what are the different classes that you offer? Because you start prenatal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have I have to think now. We have 4 core programs that kind of round us out that target every single demographic as it relates to childbearing. So our prenatal classes are called our FitMom to Be fitness classes, but they're a fitness class. So full body weight, cardio, strength training, and an opportunity to safely exercise throughout pregnancy from early conception right up to delivery. Then our core daytime programs are our FitMom and Baby program, where we incorporate baby wearing as part of our training plan. In the summer and spring, we have our FitMom Stroller Strength program, which we'll be running this fall as well. And then for our graduates or our veteran moms, as they get a little stronger and maybe start returning to work, we have our Fit Woman programming. So we try and kind of target our course offerings in our classes to meet every demographic in the community.
So are you offering in-person and online classes?
We just started offering some in-person outdoor classes, but we've been online offering our classes live, like you and I, since March the 15th. I think like right after I got the news that schools were closing, and on Tuesday of that week, we had figured out how to be online, offering our classes in real time.
Wow, that's so great that you were able to do that and keep people engaged, right? Because, you know, it's a tough time.
It was really hard. And for sure, and so many of these new parents were having babies at that time and feeling extra isolated. So we always make sure that there's a community component into our classes, right? We're continually engaging with our members on screen and in person. This does help elevate that self of connection and community. And people still find a way to connect online, and it's cool to be a part of those friendships as they're starting to blossom digitally.
Of course. Now, do you need to be of a certain fitness level to join these classes?
No, thankfully you don't. Everybody has a body that can move, and because we are tailoring the experience to not only people's stages of pregnancy or postpartum recovery, but fitness levels as well, everyone's going to find that they can work at their own pace. And the thing about fitness is once you start, you'll get stronger and fitter, and you'll move along that continuum. So we're able to support people wherever they're at.
I love that you can start right when you find out that you're pregnant, and then you can move through the whole program.
That's the hope. That's the intention. We really want to encourage people to learn how to exercise with their families through these challenging times when learning how to squeeze in time for yourself as a new parent can be a bit of a challenge. So really it's about you start whenever you want. There's no registration dates typically for our postpartum. For our prenatal classes, you'll be with people that would be pregnant around the same time, but you can start whenever.
That's amazing. Where do people go to find out more information?
Best place to find out information is on our website, which is fitmomdurham.com. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm sure whatever new version of social media connection will be on next. I'm clearly on Zoom, which has been so much fun, but that's the best place to find us is through our website.
That is amazing. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining with me today. I think you're offering a really great service, and I love that you've been able to move from online to now going in person with the stroller size and meeting hours, stroller fit, sorry. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Anna, for your time today. It's always a pleasure to connect with you.
Now, if you have a new baby or a toddler at home, you're not going to want to miss my next guest. Is Heather Watson from Mommy Connections Durham. And next up in the hot seat, it's my last guest. It's Heather Watson from Mommy Connections Durham. Heather, how are you? It's so good to see you.
I'm great, Anna. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Anytime. I'm so happy. I'm so glad to see everybody again. So you are the owner of Mommy Connections Durham. Can you tell me a little bit about Mommy Connections and what you do?
Yeah, for sure. So Mommy Connections started about almost 10 years ago now. And they have different locations, but Mommy Connections Durham, I brought it to Durham in 2014. So we're in our 7th year. It's wonderful. It started out as programs for moms and babies, because basically once you're on mat leave, you don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know what to do with baby. You need something to do, somewhere to go. You don't know about simple things like breastfeeding, sleep habits, formula feeding, anything. You just need guidance. And most moms don't know where to go. Pretty isolating situation, right? So with these programs, moms will learn in our group for the first half, and the second half is interactive. So we do yoga, music, baby massage, fun stuff. And since then, over the 7 years, we've grown to cater all ages to 4 years old. So after baby, we have mini movers. So for crawlers, we have activities for you guys. And then our favorite is traveling tots. So every week we travel to a different business and try out their activity that they have to do. So today for tots, we did soccer with Coach Steve from Little Kickers. So it was a wonderful experience, and we all had so much fun.
Wow, that is super fun. What I really like about what you do is you offer something like you can go from baby, like little baby, all the way through. You can just stay and you sort of graduate into the next one. Which is your favorite class? Because you have a bunch of, they're different. Which one do you like the best?
You know what? They all offer a little something different. I went through it with all my kids, so I know what the different stages can be with the child. So I brought my first one, who's now 7. She went through the whole thing, baby to movers to toddlers. Now my second one, she's with me now. She's 4, so she's going to graduate out of the program shortly. But I find with the toddlers, it's just great to see once they're moving and talking, just letting them do their own thing and be independent, because that's what they're looking for. So it's great to try out these different activities before you actually commit to any one of them. So you can actually see what they like and what they don't like, and then, base your opinion based on that. So that's what I like about our programs. You kind of sample everything and then make the hard decision once you leave our program, and throw your business and support local, of course.
Yeah, of course. I think it's really, one of the things that I like about your business too, is that it is, as you say, it's a little bit of everything, because sometimes you think like they're going to, oh, wow, I've got a winner. They're really going to love doing, ballet or dance or, soccer or something like that. And then you pay $300 and you find that they actually do not like it.
Don't like it. And then to get a refund sometimes is a hard thing to do. So yeah, and then the other thing I like is the friendships. So we're all based on relationships, because it's hard to find, even for dads, the dads come out to our toddler class as well. But for the mom and baby groups, it's hard to find friends when you're on mat leave. A lot of your friends are in different stages of life. So with our group, these moms are in it for the same reason. They're all looking for those connections, those deep connections. And I'm happy to say I love it when I see after the class ends, I see pictures of my moms. They send me pictures. Oh, they met at the store, or the kids played at the playground. They're in the movies. I'm like, oh, my heart. I love it. So I watch all the babies grow, and then that's it. It's so much fun. I love it. I love what I do.
Oh, I'm so glad. It really, I can tell, like, just from talking to you. Now, we only have a minute, but I see that you are in a park. You're outside right now. So you're offering some outside programs. Are you also offering programs indoors at this time?
I am at the moment, and just for everyone's comfort level, we're taking advantage of the beautiful weather. So we're in the park. Our programs are 8 weeks. For the first 4 weeks, we're going to be outside. We're going to milk the weather as much as we can. And when it gets cooler, we're going to move indoors to King Street Church in Oshawa.
Okay,
so,
that's great.
So our next round of programs starts soon. Registrations will be out soon for the winter.
Okay, so where should people go if they want to find more information? We've got about 25 seconds.
Yeah, you can follow me on Facebook, Mommy Connections Durham. I'm on Instagram, Mommy Connections Durham. Or you can go to our website, www.mommyconnections.ca/Durham.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you very much for joining me today. It was so good to see your face again.
Thank you. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
Thanks to all my guests who shared their family-friendly events and activities with us. But most of all, thank you for watching. From everyone here at the Rogers Studio in Durham, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you next time.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.